Oh my.
And welcome back to another thrilling episode of Off the Dome. I'm your humble interviewer, Jordan Brown, and with me for the very first time is our bewitching beauty queen. Say hi, bewitching beauty queen.
Hi, bewitching beauty queen.
So, first of all, apologies. It was a thing I established in episode 1. You don't need to hear that more in your life.
I think that's also what happened to Brennan. He established it, and then it was like, well, that's what we do. Forever. Yeah, that's what we do until the end of time.
Whoops. Thank you so much. Such a huge fan of yours.
Likewise.
I have so many things to ask you about.
Insane.
But obviously, the most important thing. Will anyone notice Robin's absence in the next season of Real Housewives of Potomac?
I'm hoping yes, because we'll all be exhaling a beautiful sigh of relief. Do you understand the context of like what you just asked?
Nope, not at all. Nope.
That's so
I text
awesome.
a dear friend of mine every time I do one of these, and I'm like, write me some questions, and she sends back a block of text, and it's like with like RHO city, and then like the question, yeah.
Have you talked? Well, you talked to Glenn.
I've talked to Glenn and Christina. I've completed the couch.
Wow. Yeah. Completing the couch. A beautiful phrase.
Yeah.
Anyway, not that it means anything to you. Robin had to go. I wish.
Yeah. It's lunchtime here, so.
Oh, I love little kid voices. Anyway, he knows. He knows.
Robin had to go. He gets it.
Yeah, he gets it.
Carla is such an absolute icon. This is your Carla, not if there is a Housewives Carla. There probably
isn't.
Oh, okay.
I don't think there ever has been, interestingly.
I adore her, and obviously you so much.
Oh
and here's the thing. I think the show's good.
For sure.
You're great on it. And I wouldn't say that if it wasn't true. You and Aliyah, is that how you pronounce her name? Aliyah. Mm-hmm. Genuinely so fantastic on it.
Oh my gosh.
I don't have any questions. Carla's great.
You're great. I really appreciate that. That means so much. It's been very fun to do. What a gift.
I'm assuming it's coming to an end here in this season. I know they're filming right now. I've heard rumors that things aren't great.
I have to say, you know more than I do. I'm not caught up, and I don't know. No tagging. If anybody knows that term from Bitch Sesh, we say no tagging. Okay, no tagging. I don't know what's going on over there. I don't know what I'm allowed to say, what I'm not allowed to say. I haven't signed anything. But I did one day of shooting this season, and they sort of were like, hey, this is what you're doing the day before. And I did have to speak to a, what's it called? Intimacy coordinator.
Oh.
The day before, and I was like, excuse me, what? So I don't know what's going on over there. I don't know if it's going bad or well. I shot a fun scene. I don't know.
Yeah. I'm excited to see that scene. Sure. And then be sad that that's the only one that I'm really enjoying.
For sure. I appreciate that.
Things that you can talk about. Dead. Uh-huh.
I can talk about that.
How sad am I going to be?
I think it depends.
My father is dead. Does that help lay the groundwork?
And it's a big club we're in. Dad's go to the doctor. I don't know what to say. Dad's really be dying out here in these streets. And so I hope that it is like cathartic and relatable. And I don't know about you. I had a pretty complicated relationship with my dad. I think that is also a quality that dads have, making things complicated with their children. I think it will be moving. We're in a fun sort of purgatory area where we've shot the entire thing, but we need to do a crowdfunding campaign to raise money for the post process and marketing and festivals and da da da.
Yeah.
This turned out to be great PR.
Hey, that's what I'm genuinely here for. Look, it worked great for Grant and Allie, so
Yeah,
you can do it
that's
too.
true. That's true. Adam Frucci, he gets shit done.
Yeah.
Um,
Grab,
so
I don't know
yeah,
if you have an editor already, but Eve Hines, I'm sure, would love to hop on.
amazing. Yes. We're talking to people, we're seeing what we can afford, we're seeing like how fast we need to get the fundraising campaign out there. And it seems like pretty fast. We gotta get it out there. But we're really excited. We're looking forward to it.
Yeah.
There were like fun moments on set where it was like, whoa, this person on the crew is crying a lot. Now he's pretty nuts to begin with. So is this because this is just so moving, or is it because he's kooky? I think it's a little column A, a little column B.
Fair enough. I mean, obviously there has to be some humor built in as well because of the cast. I'm just assuming that you didn't cast a bunch of comedians and then you're like, no jokes.
Yeah. And also like we made it funny because I found the tragic experience of losing my dad to be like, I like to say 70% laughing and 30% crying, because you're just sort of like confronted with very real human moments, and you're like,
Yeah.
this is, and it's like whatever you do is also just like, and my dad's dying and I'm trying to just find a bathroom.
Yeah.
And also, hey, my dad's dying.
And also, hey.
Yeah.
My experience is a little different. My father committed suicide in 1984 when I was a year and a half old. So, like, every moment with my son, I see my son older than my father ever saw me. It's not a good mental headspace. Anyway.
Wow. Oh my gosh. I'm so sorry.
I mean, we've done therapy for it.
Of course.
Yeah.
Of course. And I hope you continue to.
Yeah. I will say, oh God, what was the show? Ted Lasso. I don't know if you watched or not.
I watched season 1.
Well, spoilers for later.
Okay.
Ted's father has committed suicide in the show. And some friends checked in with me to be like, hey, have you watched the most recent episode yet? And I was like, no. And then like a couple people did. And I was like, uh-oh. What's gonna happen? And then
sure.
I got to the episode where he starts talking about it, and I was like, oh no, here come emotions. So
did they handle it in a way that you found cathartic?
Yes, a way that I was like, there is someone on the writing staff that this has happened to.
For sure.
They have used words that I have never heard anyone use before.
Yeah, you'd hope that when like an ultra specific, very personal thing happens in like a piece of art or media, you're like, there's a reason someone. But yeah. I like had a similar thing where like to an annoying degree, like spoilers basically, if there was like alcoholism in a parent in a movie or a TV show or something, my mom would text me and be like, don't watch this. Don't see that movie. Don't see the movie where Tom Hanks is Walt Disney. He's a drinker. I was like, I think I'll be okay. Also, I'm not going to see it. I don't see anything. But she's like being protective, but also laying it on thick. Yeah.
Oh, differently than I had anticipated.
Well, what can you do?
Yeah, what can you do? I am very excited for Dead. The only reason I even am confident in how I'm pronouncing it is because I asked Vic. Because I asked Vic, how sad am I going to be? And they said that they couldn't say, because they will never be the first person to say anything about anything.
No. No. They're sneaky.
They are. Yeah,
but Iffy will be.
But what?
Iffy will be the first person.
Yes. Yeah. If he tells people things.
The beautiful angel.
Yeah. Gives the best hugs. Oh my goodness. Did you see his story like yesterday that he did the hot chip challenge? What?
No.
Yeah. It was a before and after, I believe he was sitting on the toilet.
Good.
Yeah.
Good.
Well, speaking of Dropout, I guess, I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
I have to transition out of this spot somehow.
That was a beautiful segue.
Yeah, thank you. I have the words cool and wait written down in my notes, and it did take me a full 10 minutes to figure out what the questions were related to that, because they're not connected, but I put a dash between them like they were.
I hope
I don't do good notes. No, WEIGHT.
I hope, yeah, please ask me about my weight.
It was about the amount of things that you were wearing as Leanna and how much it weighed. Yes, good. Yes.
Okay.
And then cool was how were you so cool? That was a fan submitted question, but I agree with. So
okay, what does that mean?
You're very cool. Yeah.
I guess. Thank you. I have like a bit of a trigger with that word. Do you know what I mean?
Weights are cool.
Both. deeply both. And cool, like I talked about this on another Dropout show, and I think people were like, what? But I was like, cool is a curse. I went to high school in LA. The word cool really dominated everything I did. And I think I would consider myself having been a cool kid in high school, not for lack of trying, for sure. But I understand where whoever that is coming from. And a funny thing happens online where people try, like, especially our fans, very sensitive, loving fans, try to be like defensive of us, and will be like, I see some things, when I'm snooping, when I'm snooping, of course. Yeah, you gotta snoop.
I know you are looking for those Brennan Thirst Trap videos. I've seen
those. I don't even have to look for. They find me, and I go,
that's fair.
Welcome, hot Brennan accounts. And but some people where they're like, oh my God, why is everybody talking about how fat Izzy is online? I don't get it. Why do you keep saying this every day? And I'm like, who is saying every day online how fat I am? Like, or like on Reddit, people will be like, I don't get it. Everyone is talking about how big of a bitch Izzy is. I just don't. It's like they're trying to defend it, but in their defense, it's like, oh, so people are calling me fat and a bitch. That's pretty awesome. Anyway, but the weight of the dress and the wig was heavy deportation. If you've seen that video.
But...
Okay. Sorry, Branson. Having a stroke on air. It was a complicated migraine. They did it in 30 Rock.
I have seen that episode.
Yes. Yes, the gas leak.
Do you think making pregnant women uncomfortable is what gets Dropout America CEO Sam Reich off?
Yeah, probably. It was really funny because everyone was so careful with me. Everyone was being so kind and conscientious and compassionate. And then it was like, well, this is the heaviest dress I've ever worn. It is beautiful and it was worth it. And I would do it again. And a humongous wig. And then I saw what Oscar Montoya was wearing and I said, that's simply a vest and a bob. But hey, what can we do?
But people loved Leanna, like such an instant icon.
It's certainly one of my favorite things I've ever done.
That show is so good. It's absurd.
It is so good. It's absurd. It's it was like not even just being a part of it. It was like feel like I'm watching something magical happen. And there's another Dropout show that's coming that felt very similar.
Gastronauts, very exciting.
Yes.
I know things.
Yeah.
Because that's what Kyle Rohrbach said about Gastronauts, was like, he got the same feeling on Gastronauts as he did on VIP.
Yeah. It's very true.
Yeah. But speaking of brilliance, Alexa, the look different. The speed at which you delivered that was...
Thank you so much.
I mean, I think it was... Vic and I were in the same headspace of you can just watch them try
Their
to...
face after is... It's really... I don't think I get to stump Vic too often. And that was a proud moment for me, for sure.
I mean, it was so fast. It was like a rehearsed, like you do it every night, like in bigger. The classic joke is Alexa look different. Like it was so fast and brilliant.
That is so kind of you. That is so nice. I mean, like when I started to see clips and stuff before, like, or when I watched the episode when it came out, I was like, I have zero recollection of this day.
Yeah.
But I was there for Brennan's reveal. I don't know if they keep any of that in. But I watched him look at himself for the first time. That I remember a lot.
Yeah, because he filmed right before you.
I guess he filmed when I was getting ready. They really sought out to make us both as uncomfortable as physically possible because he is covered in fur.
Yeah.
And I was like,
he's already covered in fur.
He is a furnace, and they're going to send this man to the hospital and me into early labor.
Yeah.
They
tried their best.
They tried their best.
All for the sake of comedy. Look, they want that Emmy. I get what
I know,
they're going
but people were saying, like, I think, like, our friend Denise, who is, like, the department head of HMU for pretty much every other show, texted Brent and has never said anything about like Dropout content like this before, but she watched his VIP episode and said it was a masterpiece. And
perhaps tomorrow night. So exciting.
I'm very excited as well.
Yeah.
She doesn't watch those, and he was also like, I have no blackout, full fugue state.
Yeah. Everyone has said that Brennan's episode is like, because like I guess surprise, Brennan gets super philosophical. I'm sure you can't relate. And
I literally can't because that's just not my MO. But he's want to do. He's want to dive deep.
Episode. I loved everything about your episode. One of the things I loved that didn't include you is that you could hear Brennan wheeze laughing just off camera.
Can you?
Yes, you can. Because he stayed to watch yours, which is I've pieced this all together. I've talked to enough people from the show to piece together what the filming order was.
He was watching mine. And I think like every time we cut, I was like, okay, is this usable?
It was a masterpiece. Was there a moment where you saw the reveal and you're like, I've already done Ostentation, I can't do her again?
Yeah. There was a moment where I was like, oh, okay, I get where they're going with this. And I think I like started doing a like Long Island Jersey accent, and then it was like, oh, we've gone here. And so, I definitely wanted to do something.
Teenage. Well, I guess a toddler beauty queen. I was never entirely clear how old Leanna was.
Toddlers and tiaras.
Yeah. So good. Speaking of full blackouts, how happy are you that you were on Sam Says 1 and not Sam Says 2 or 3?
So Sam Says 3 was Vic, Lou and Jacob.
Yes. 2 was Jacob, Zach, and Allie, where Allie went to New York at the end of the episode.
Oh, right. Yeah.
But like Sam really upped his like cruelty game between 1, 2, and 3.
Listen, I said, put me in, coach. We were supposed to be on Not Match
Newlywed?
Game. Yeah.
Newlywed.
Yeah. And they, and I was like, okay, that's fine. Like, I'm doing VIP at the end of September. So that's fine. It'll be around then. It's sort of shooting at the same time. Whatever. Yeah. So they scheduled our episode to shoot very close to my due date this month. And Sam kept being like, and I wrote them being like, hey, like, I'll be full term, just so you know. So if we could do it closer to
not then.
To not then, like when you start shooting, it'd be ideal. And they were like, okay, copy. And then didn't change it. And then Sam just kept writing us being like, do you think this is going to work? And we were like, Sam, that's simply not how babies work. That's just not how it goes. But I had told him, he like sent emails in the summer being like, how crazy are you willing to get? Like, Allie flew to JFK. What will you do? And I said, cut me open, deliver the baby, do it on camera. I don't care. And he didn't take me up on that.
Yeah. Would have been a hell of an ending of Sam Says 3.
Yeah.
Are you mad Becca didn't FaceTime you for Beat the Buzzer?
They did FaceTime me.
Oh. And it got cut?
I think they didn't show it. Well, so they had told me to be on standby for the whole day. And I was. And then I got a FaceTime and they were like, we already did it. I was like, okay, cool. How's everybody having a good time?
Are all my friends having fun without me?
And they were like, yeah, we're having a good time, but we don't need you. I was like, cool. I'm sure this will make it into the episode.
Becca grabbed a picture of you on
the
phone and used that. Real missed opportunity.
What can you do?
I mean, yeah.
It's okay.
Missed opportunities all around. I'm sure next season you'll be back.
I generally love to not work or leave the house.
That's fair.
So I was grateful for that.
Yeah. I did appreciate, I believe it was in the Game Changers trailer came out that you posted that everyone was dead to you because you weren't in the season. Very much appreciated that.
I'm sure Andrew Bridgman also appreciated that.
Yeah. All press is good press. That is one of the ones where I saw someone
being like, oh my God.
Is everything okay? And I was like, do you think she would have
There was someone online too. Another another really good I don't even know if I should say this. Like, I don't know if I should fuel that I'm reading things, you know? But someone said I looked like I was having such a bad time on Burrow's End. Because I was upset that Erica has played partners with Brennan in past seasons, and we're sort of like a throuple.
That's a hefty projection by somebody going through something.
And completely true.
Yeah. Hey.
100%.
Yeah.
Cat.
True. The cat tail is the exclamation point on that very true sentence.
Someone else was like, sorry. I should just rattle off insane comments.
Rattle everything off that you've seen that's hurt your feelings. This is what this space is for.
This is therapy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, speaking of Burrow's End, iconic.
Why did I seem so tired and unhappy?
Yeah, why? We had... what was it like? Because I've talked to Jasper about like, going in and finding out like you're about to be about to be a parent for the first time right before filming starts. Obviously, you knew going in that you were going to be a parent for the first time.
Yes.
And then going in to play a family.
Yeah.
I assume that changed dynamics at the table.
It was crazy. It was very emotional, as you saw. You know, Rashawn, it all just fell into place that way because we knew when we did character creation that, did I know I was pregnant when we did character creation? I think so. Very, very, very early. But then it was like Rashawn is like, yep, I'm going to find out that I'm pregnant. And Jasper, like, I think they found out simply moments.
Oh yeah,
Got on
yeah,
the
like
plane.
literally, like yes, he like it was like honeymoon, found out,
Yes.
got on a plane to LA,
yes.
like
yes.
like
And I don't know. It was so crazy. I thankfully was not as ill as I was in my To Make Some Noise episodes that I filmed, I think a week after I found out. And so in the Make Some Noise episodes that I'm in with Josh and Anna, and then Brennan and Erica,
your throuple, yes.
Our throuple.
Yep.
Classic throuple. I'm the pregnant one in the throuple, and I'm so sick. And we did both of those episodes in one day. And it's like, it's that kind of sickness. I don't know if your partner had it like this, but where it's like you're about to throw up, but you never do all day.
Oh, no. She
was throwing up.
Yes.
Of course. I was lucky in that there were times when I did, but like the first couple of months was me just sort of being like, it's gonna, okay. And you can see me sort of like holding on to the podium. And I think like there are moments where it's Josh and Anna and I'm off camera sort of just like heaving. And Brennan had just come back from the boat Joko cruise.
Oh, okay, yes.
And was so ill, convinced himself the crystals in his head had been knocked. You know what I'm talking about?
Oh.
There are minerals, this is real. There are minerals like in our inner ears or whatever that are at an equilibrium so that we know how to balance. Yeah. And sometimes they get like boinked around. And I swear to God, I swear to God. I mean, I don't swear. I don't know. I actually don't know. This was relayed to me. I haven't read a medical journal about it. But this is what Brennan said. And then he was like looking it up online. He was like, you know what? It's mal de désembarquement, which is boat madness from the French. And it's when you get off of a boat and you feel like you haven't gotten off of the boat.
Yeah.
For the rest of, and you're crazy. You go mal de désembarquement. And so he's like, the room is spinning because he's just gotten off this damn boat. And the room is spinning for me too. What were we talking about?
Well, now we're talking about the performances of a lifetime, because I just watched your Brennan Erica episode this morning because I was like, okay. I was like, I want to think of like some prompts. I talked to Ross Bryant 2 days ago. So like we talked a bunch about Make Some Noise because obviously he's very good at it. You're also very good at it. And I was like, I want to think of some prompts to like ask. And it's like, I didn't watch the Josh and Anna episode.
That one's nuts, so.
But like, I would not have guessed that either of you were violently ill rewatching it this morning. Now I want to watch it again because I do remember some points where you're leaning on the podium, and I felt like, and she's having a like huge reaction to a thing that someone else is doing,
or we're gonna doink, yeah. Anyway, also kicking Burrow's end.
Yeah, I think that's what we were talking about. Kicking dogs in the face and body. Truly, Izzy, my God.
Thank you.
Like, that's got to be one of Make Some Noise's most popular clips that they've ever shared.
No way.
It's got to be up there. Like, it's such an absurdly funny clip. And I saw
don't know. The Noise Boys.
Noise Boys are good, but there was something about the, like, Brennan. It's obviously like we'll talk about bigger because it obviously like leaned into that aspect so hard, like Brennan setting you up with, and here it says kicking dogs, and then you just leaning so hard into that with I wanted to kick dogs in the face and body. Just made it so much funnier.
Thank you so much. That was a real blast. I think that was supposed to be a Bria, and she was like, no.
This is my fun one from Sam because you probably don't know what my cat is. Yeah,
your son, my cat.
Yep.
Trying to escape.
Yep. Brie and I are in a blood feud. You probably aren't aware of that.
No.
It was from Burrow's end. She said I didn't have a strong enough reaction to Polly the bear.
Polly?
And yeah, that was the name of the bear.
Since when?
That was always the name of the bear.
Questionable.
It was like Polly Pocket, but it was a boy bear, so it was Pauley.
Okay.
This is absolutely true.
Okay. I want receipts.
Anyway, I did not make a strong enough reaction video for her.
Okay.
So she got on TikTok and yelled at me on her first TikTok in like 8 months.
Classic.
And so now we're in a blood feud, which is terrifying because she could physically kill me.
Of course she could. What's a blood feud? Like, I want you dead?
Yeah.
Okay.
Correct.
I was going to guess like that, or like either families are getting involved.
No, we haven't involved families yet. I have involved other people because like I asked Sam why she wasn't on Game Changer. And he told me that they had tried to get her on Make Some Noise, and she didn't reply to their email, which is even funnier.
So she did not say no.
She did not say no. She just didn't get back to them.
Cool.
Which is a classic Abria move.
Cool. Sam has often been like, wow, I can't believe how fast you just replied to this email. Because I'll be on my phone and I'll get an email from Sam.
Yeah. I mean,
and I'm like, don't say that. You're not supposed to say that.
In Sam's emails to you, he's sending you things he's not supposed to say. That cat is.
Well, I'm just saying, like, don't tell me how fast I'm responding.
I got it, yes.
It makes me feel bad. It makes me feel like a loser. But I could be a Bria and just not say it.
And just literally not reply. But then, you don't get paid for well, I guess it wasn't an easy day's work for you because you were violently ill. But Vic has told me, like, the easiest paycheck at Dropout is Make Some Noise. So presumably when you're not sick, when you just roll in and you get to goof about.
It's sometimes, I don't know, Vic is a horse of a different color, I have to say. Their sort of like ability is shocking. And I think comes easier to them than it does to most people. So sometimes I'm on that set and I'm like, oh my God, what am I going to say? Did you figure out how to open the door?
Very impressive.
He didn't, he wasn't not allowed to go, but he figured it out.
Yeah. Amazing. What's the cat's name?
That's Tom.
That's Tom. Okay.
Tom's Thumb.
Bye, Tom. Yeah. Here's the great thing about Riverside. It has this option where it will cut out pauses for me and I don't have to do anything. You can tell it how long of a pause. You're like, do you want it to be like super fast, 1 second, or like 1.5 or 2 seconds? So I can just be like, cut out all 2-second pauses, and it'll just be like. I assume I've never actually watched it back after I've chosen that.
Okay.
But no one's ever complained, so I assume it's working.
Okay. No need to measure twice, cut once.
Yeah, I don't have time to check my work.
No. Do you have a favorite Dropout show?
Oh boy, I think it's VIP. It's certainly up there. But
did you watch Hello, My Name Is?
I've gone back and watched it. I didn't watch it like back in the day. I came to Dropout very late. I came to Dropout in 2020 when, like many people, I was like, I desperately need something to watch because I'm inside the house forever now. And I had gotten into the Adventure Zone, and so like I followed the McElroys over, and I started at Fantasy High because I was like, well, I'm going to start from the beginning, and they bleeped the swears on YouTube, and I was like, I will give you any amount of money to make the bleeps stop. And then I found it was like $5, and I was like, well, that's easy. I would have given you so much more money to make this stop. Because they're your friends. You know how often they swear. It's a lot.
Oh, yeah. I think maybe me more than a lot of people. I don't know. That'd be a fun count.
I'm sure someone weird on the internet has done it because people are weird on the internet.
1,000,000%. Nobody should be online. Being online should be cause to go to jail.
Yeah.
That's what I think.
Me too, as someone who is
we
so
should both
chronically
be in
online.
Prison.
Speaking of bigger, not really, but I mentioned it at some point.
Speaking of the carceral system.
Yeah. How was the UK and Ireland tour?
Oh my gosh. It was amazing. It It, wouldn't recommend having that be your first trip with a baby.
Mm-hmm.
Would not recommend it.
It's a hefty flight.
A hefty, several flights, several countries, but we survived. We did it. And the shows were incredible. I literally was like, it is offensive that we are doing long form improv comedy in a theater this beautiful for this many people. It was nuts.
I am chronically online, so a lot of people send me things when whatever. So people sent me after they went to any of the bigger shows and told me just how absolutely brilliantly funny it was. So
I'm glad.
You well deserved to be in a giant, beautiful theater. And also bigger coming to Dropout sometime this year.
I know. We'll see how that is.
I am always really curious how long form translates to taped when you don't have the joy of the audience next to you.
Historically, not well.
Right.
It doesn't translate too well. Brennan was doing a lot of great research, watching like taped long form things, to be like, should we do this? Is there a way to make it good? And like, we were very blessed to have Jonah Ray as the director, who has been very immersed in that world previously. And Brennan, his theory was sort of like, do not be subtle. Just never be subtle. And I was like,
the
sounds
premise
good.
of the show, I believe.
Sounds good.
Yeah.
It's just like, commit as hard as you can. I haven't seen it, so I hope it's good. I mean, the big team is one of my favorite teams of all time.
Yeah.
So very exciting.
It's very exciting.
Yeah.
Ben Schwartz has had some success at long form taped. So I think there isn't a.
Yeah, I think they might have done Hackney Empire, where we also played. I'm not sure.
Yeah.
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 But we did Elysian, which was like 100 people. Which is
for bigger.
prime.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's one of that's another. This is the weird thing about being in this space. Like people literally were like, Sam sent me messages that like Sam was there. He was wearing this shirt because he was wearing a shirt that said every other Thursday. And people were like, what do you think it means? Is it a new show that's coming to Dropout? And then like I talked to Sam. He's like, it's just a shirt it's a brand of clothing that I like, and the shirt says every other Thursday. It wasn't a code.
We're not Taylor Swift.
But Sam does this. He broke all our brains with the Game Changer Season 5 poster where he had a 13 up his sleeve, which meant there were 4 hidden episodes. It was a battle royale at the end of the season. It was all there. Sam has broken all of us, and that's just how things are now.
That's just because he, he's a member of the Magicians Alliance or whatever the hell. And so we get to go to the Magic Castle when we want.
That sounds super fun.
That's him living out his fantasy.
Yeah. Myself and others have gotten too deep in the paint, analyzing too many things about Game Changer.
Absolutely.
And then, what are you going to do? Not spread conspiracy theories? Where's the fun in that? Yeah.
Thank you. I love that. My favorite ones are paternity related.
For you?
No.
Oh, okay, good.
Conspiracy theories. If people had conspiracy theories about my paternal, I would love nothing more. But mainly my favorites are Ronan Farrow and Khloe Kardashian.
Oh, yes, yeah. God, the Ronan Farrow one's so weird.
So true.
Because, it just has to be, right?
It just has to be.
It doesn't make sense.
It doesn't make sense. Even though
I know that he
was an octogenarian or whatever with a vasectomy,
right? And comatose or something. It makes
she saved old Blue Eye's sperm because she said, "I have a feeling about this guy. The other one is gonna be bad, so I should have a kid with Frank.
Yeah.
And that's what happened. And then Khloe Kardashian's dad, as we all know, it's O.J. Simpson.
Right. As we all know.
As we may he rot in hell.
Yeah. What a fun day when he died.
I just keep being like, whoa, OJ's dead.
Yeah.
How cool.
But truly one of my favorite things about these interviews is how off the rails they can go. And
how many people have talked about OJ?
I think you might be the first.
What a shame.
Yeah. But a well-worn topic for me, Larsa Pippen - is Love Dead? This one I do know about, because it became an obsession of mine after I found out about it.
What do you mean?
Are
you Bulls fan?
I mean, yes. I mean, I was, like, in the 90s, as, like, every child was. And so, like, the first time someone said to me, like, yeah, Larsa Pippen is dating Marcus Jordan. And I was like, oh, fun. Scottie Pippen's daughter is dating Michael Jordan's son. And they're like, oh, no.
No.
Scottie Pippen's ex-wife from the 90s is dating Michael Jordan's son. And I was like,
apparently babysat him.
Yeah, has to have, right? Like,
I don't know. I think it's like a 20-year age difference or something. So I don't know if she was married to Scottie at that point. But
she got married in 1997. Look, I'm deep in on this one.
So have you watched any?
No, none at all.
Okay.
But like,
Traders?
No. Someone asked me to ask you about Traders, and I don't remember what the question was. If you were watching it or something.
I watched it.
Yeah.
I watched it.
Yeah. Christina will send me any Larsa Marcus Jordan news. And like from Bravo Betches or whatever
not
Instagram accounts.
A verifiable source, of course.
Right.
Christina and Bravo Betches. It's not, I mean, the news is not that interesting. It's mostly just the shock and beauty of it happening in the first place. But now it's just like, oh, are they together? Are they not? I mean, she's one of the no tagging. She's one of the stupidest people that has ever been alive. Which is awesome. Which is so awesome.
Yeah.
So that's
spent so much time trying to find pictures of her wedding to Scottie with the full belief that Marcus was there. And you just can't. The only one I've ever found is the two of them, Scottie and Larsa, walking out in like a giant, like in like a cathedral-looking place.
So how old was Marcus?
He was born. He was like, what was he, like 10 or something in 97? I think it was like 7 to 10, I believe. So like, if it's a no kids wedding, maybe not there, but like it feels like we're inviting everyone from the city of Chicago. But unfortunately,
did you see the
trying
Last
to
Dance?
Google Larsa Pippen wedding, the only thing that comes up is, will Larsa marry Marcus?
Someone will be able to find out. I made my first paid Instagram subscription last week to this woman who does like deep diving into a lot of the lawsuits. And she's done a lot of deep diving into like Jamila Jamil.
Mm-hmm.
Do you know who that is?
Yeah, I do.
Who's crazy and sort of a crazy lie.
Should we throw up no tagging on that one as well?
I guess. I don't know. But the bees. Have you heard about the bees story?
I've not. Please.
She just has this story that she was like chased by a swarm of bees into traffic that is never consistent. And so this lady that I am a paid subscriber to, because I need to know more about these things, did like a humongous deep dive into like every single time she has mentioned the bees. Why did I start talking about this? She could find out whether or not Marcus Jordan was at the wedding of Scottie Pippen and Larsa Pippen.
Yeah, I think
for sure.
Important journalism.
Yeah. And my sister's a lawyer. She really wants. She's been like teasing me and my mom about starting like a Bravo law blog podcast.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, I will fucking invest so much money. She's like, I have another lawyer friend who's into it. He has podcast equipment. I'm like, if you don't do this, I will lose my mind.
The market is ready.
The market is ready. If you ever want to watch Real Housewives of Miami, I'm free. I think it's the greatest show that's ever been on television.
That's good to know. Christina's been very adamant that I start, and she recommended Salt Lake as a starting point because it was self-contained, and like there wasn't like a ton of it.
That's true.
So I didn't need a lot of background info to go in. But
you don't seem like the type of person who's going to start watching Real Housewives. I'm going to be honest.
That's fair. My wife watches New York.
The new one?
I don't know if she started the new one. She watched a bunch of New York a couple summers ago. Yeah. But we also, we have a very small window of time where we can watch television together.
I haven't watched TV in a year.
Yeah.
It took us to watch the most recent to watch an episode of Survivor, like a new one. It took like 3 weeks.
Yeah, that's fair.
We were just watching in 4-minute increments and then had to like go back because we would forget what happened several days ago when we watched that 4 minutes.
Yeah, we have our son goes to bed at 7.
That's
and
beautiful.
It is. And then my wife goes to bed about 9 because he wakes up at somewhere between 5:30 and 7 a.m.
Okay. Wow.
Yeah.
That's nice.
He'll get there. That's how time and children work. But her new thing is all of the nanny is on Peacock. And so she just fires that up and goes to sleep to it. She's a huge fan.
I like her.
Yeah.
I like her.
Yeah. When she was watching
to sleep to things is really big for me.
Yeah. So hers are The Nanny, Parks and Rec, and Happy Endings, the ABC show from a million years ago. Yeah.
My favorite podcast of all time is Bitch Sesh.
Yeah.
With Casey Wilson.
Yes. Casey Wilson and Adam Pally are starting a Happy Endings podcast. It drops in 5 days. I'm so excited about it.
Beautiful.
My wife and I, when we got engaged in New York, God, this is so not what anyone wants me to talk to you about.
I want to hear.
So we got engaged in New York, and the impetus for the trip was Vulture did a Happy Endings reunion and got all of the cast back together to come tell stories about when they were shooting. And so then we flew out and we had all these plans. And the day we didn't get engaged that day, we got engaged the next day. We went to Colbert. Yeah, we went to Colbert and then went to dinner.
Rapport?
No. Late Show.
Okay.
And then went to dinner with some friends. Some friends were in town for a conference, but had come in because they knew I was going to propose.
Oh my
and
God.
This beautiful little lounge that had the Empire State Building in the background. Amazing. Anyway, this didn't have much of a point.
And
the
then
Happy
you
Endings
proposed
crew,
there.
Yes. Yeah.
Loved.
Yeah. And
Adam Pally was one of the reasons why I started doing improv.
He's so funny.
He's the funniest person in the world. There was. Do you know about DCM?
So rough. I do not.
Del Close Marathon.
Mm-mm.
Del Close Marathon, DCM, was an improv festival put on by Upright Citizens Brigade every summer in New York. And it was a marathon. It was 72 hours of improv nonstop. It started, I think, at just the Chelsea location and then expanded. And by the time I was going in college and post-college, it was at 7 different theaters or something. And they would have bigger venues that they would have the big shows at, but it went through the night. You would apply to perform if you thought you could get a slot with your indie team or something, and it would be oh my God, we got into DCM. We're doing 4:15 in the morning at the Beast. We have 10 minutes.
Time slot.
This is the best year of my life. And the wee hours of the night and morning were when they had bit shows, which was truly just sort of John Gamberling with his penis out. It was people were like, the bitch shows are the best. You have to go stay up all night and go watch the bitch shows. And it was like, this is just like Drew Tarver is just naked. Like, it's just the time when the boys take out their ding dongs. Like, this is nuts. But Hot Sauce, which was Adam Pally, Ben Schwartz, Gil Ozeri, and I don't think Anthony Antamanik was officially a part of Hot Sauce, but the four of them would do blindfold improv. And it is like, to this day, my favorite thing I've ever seen in my life. Just the four of them doing straightforward long form improv, all of them blindfolded. And I just remember being like 19 and being like, like, inject this into my body. Yeah, DCM was great. We like, all of us were at DCM every year. It was beautiful.
And now it's dead. Now it's dead.
And now it's dead.
There is no New York
dead.
location.
Yeah. And yeah, that's life, baby.
Yeah. At least the LA location exists.
Yeah.
I lived in LA for a year in 2006, and I didn't take classes, but I attended a lot of shows at UCB because, as like you probably would guess from my whole thing doing this, big fan of comedy and improv comedy. And I think I told Vic this story about like
that was the year after it opened.
Yeah, it was when. So it was it was Besser. The three of the original, whose names I can't remember, and Amy Poehler was in New York doing SNL. And at ASCAT, because the show was free on Sundays. People would throw weed onto the stage. Mm-hmm. They would turn off the lights as if that made it legal, and then people would just throw weed onto the stage. And I remember so distinctly, someone threw brownies onto a stage once, and Matt Besser opened it and took a bite of it on stage, and was like, boy, I hope there was just weed in here. And I'm like, what a truly wild thing to do.
No, a psychopath. There was a show called Let's Party that was really fun, that I think was like Betsy Sodero.
That is music from somewhere. I don't know where. I don't know if it's in our house or outside of our house.
Cool. Independence Day is happening.
Mm-hmm.
There was a show called Let's Party where it was like, we all get drunk. The theme of the show was like, we get drunk, you get drunk. But Franklin famously has like never been able to get an alcohol license. And so they would just put beer at the edge of the stage. And it was like that Bart and Lisa thing where they're like, I'm going to close my eyes and I'm going to put my arm around like this. I'm going to start
kicking the air.
Yeah. And it was like, we're going to put this beer at the edge of the stage. And if you get up and take a beer, that's not our fault. It was like,
sure, that would hold up in a court of law.
Yeah, cool.
Oh my gosh. Izzy, this has been so amazing.
What a blast. You're an angel.
Stop.
Stop.
The pleasure's all on this side of the table.
No. As everybody who knows me knows, I don't do anything I don't want to do.
Fair. Well, if the folks want to follow you on Instagram, so that when your Kickstarter or whatever the process is going to be goes live, for Dead, that we're all going to back, because of course we will. Like, did I back? Oh God, I may not have backed Grant and Alley's. Don't ever tell them that. I didn't mean to. I did. Yeah, I didn't have to. I did like Plan C, so I'm in the credits for Plan C. So technically, Rick Perry and I are coworkers.
Beautiful.
Because his wife was the editor of that movie.
She is the fucking boss of all bosses.
She's so good. Can I tell you a funny story about that movie?
Please.
So they brought it to South by Southwest. Plug here that you should bring Dead to South by Southwest. But
no.
Yeah. So they brought it to South by Southwest. Rick Perry posted on Instagram the times, and I was like, oh good, I'm gonna go see it. And
do you live in Texas?
I do. I live just outside of Austin.
Gorge.
Yeah, I got to meet
Maybe
Vic
not.
when.
Oh really?
Yeah, when they came to do 2 shows during South by.
Yes.
And they put me on the guest list. This is the first year in a million years that I haven't gone to South by. they put me on the guest list, and then texted to thank me for coming after the show, because Vic is truly the nicest human being on the planet.
True.
And I was like, you did me the favor by getting me on the list to come into the show.
No, they're an angel.
Yeah. But Plan C was here, and I walked up, and someone had boxes that were, I think, just had like a pin, like a Plan C pin, and I was like, "Oh, are you involved in the movie?" And they're like, "My sister does something." And I was like, "Cool." And they're like, "How did you hear about it?" And I said, "Rick Perry posted about it." And the horror that spread across their face. Oh. And I was like, "Oh, no. Not that Rick Perry.
Ted Cruz loves it."
Yeah. The husband of the editor, not the former governor of Texas, the state you're currently in, which would make sense for him to post.
It would be a surprising turn.
Yeah. But would make sense for him to be like, "Hey, here's a movie you should go up and be real mad about."
Sure. Yeah.
Anyway, this has been amazing. I think I interrupted you before
I forgot about that guy. I forgot about Rick Perry, the governor. Like when I first met Rick, I was like, "Oh, that sucks," and now it's just he's the only Rick Perry in my world, which is beautiful.
It is nice because the other one did Dancing with the Stars and then sort of faded into obscurity. So it's nice here. Although I will say our governors keep getting worse. Like it went George W., Rick Perry, and now we have Greg Abbott. And it's like, what? How do we keep getting worse? Like every time I'm like, this is the worst it could be. And then I look back fondly on George W. times.
I know. New York feels the same.
Yeah.
Where it's like, Eric Adams? Buddy.
Not great.
You are so bad.
Don't tag.
Tag him. Tag him. He'll see this and he'll go, I should change.
Yeah.
I'll stop putting militia in the damn subway.
Yeah, this will be the thing.
This will be it.
Yeah, we solved it. People want to follow you on Instagram. I fully interrupted you from actually saying what your Instagram handle is. There's no way people don't know it. But in case
I don't know why they would be watching this.
It would be wild.
At is_ball.
Hooray.
IZBALL.
Thank you so much. This has been such a delight.
Thank you. Nobody's ever wanted to interview me before.
It's not true.
Who?
You were just on a podcast a month ago. You and Brennan.
Yeah, but that wasn't an interview. With Jordan and Kendall?
Yeah, yes, that one.
Yeah, that's not an interview.
All right. Well, look, I want to interview you a million times. So every time you're on any Dropout thing, I will have you back to talk about it. Or not. Look, when Dead drops its Kickstarter or whatever, come back. You can just talk about how great the movie is for an hour and how brilliant everyone is.
You got it.
My goal for this interview was to ask you no questions about Brennan. I don't think I succeeded, but I think I got close.
I appreciate that. I like to talk about him. I like him fine.
I know you. Yeah, but you're amazing, and you deserve to have your time in the spotlight.
Thank you so much.
I will say, I'm hungry has fully infected this household of a thing that we say all the time.
Insane. It gives me complicated feelings because first of all, I didn't say it. Sam made me say it.
Right.
And I hate pranking people. I hate wasting people's time.
Yeah.
And I literally was talking to someone at Cheech's Pizza. I think they bleeped it out, but it was Cheech's Pizza. And I was like, oh, okay, I'm so sorry. And now everyone's like, Izzy, we say I'm hungry. I guess that's good.
It was very funny.
I'm glad.
And I think it's because it started with start lower, I beg you. And then transitioned into 14 times, I think, on the phone.
He started, did it get in when he was like, you aren't gonna like this one? He was like, stop bidding on this one. Because he was like, you especially are not gonna be. I think it was the shirts, wearing all the shirts.
Yeah.
And he was like, Izzy, don't do it. And I was like, okay.
Not a fan of putting on a bunch of shirts?
I don't know. I feel like that one would have been fine, honestly. But
yeah. Definitely Erica's the person for that prompt.
It feels good to be known.
Yeah. He also got the bullet at the end of the episode, laying on the floor eating a piece of pizza.
Yeah, that was
with
wonderful.
your brilliant play of I'll stay here for 12 hours or whatever it was.
Yeah.
I'll ruin your day.
Yeah. And I did.
Incredible. This has been absolutely amazing. Thank you so much.
You're amazing.
I'm so excited for Dead. So excited to give you all of my money.
You're an angel.
All right. I don't know how to end interviews, so I'm just going to hit stop recording.